I think our lot of previous speakers have been talking about emerging and existing technologies across India and the globe. You can hear me? Yes. Okay, across the globe. But the fact here is we are growing fast. But at the same time, when a mobile device is growing or any kind of device is growing, the software grows. But now after COVID, I think everybody is seeing the software is growing. It is speeding up. But is the manufacturer speeding up? So with beginning of that, so I can say all the speakers spoke about the emerging technologies in software, software as a product, software as a medical device, but at the same time, who will manufacture and where we are today. So in that sense, I think to be in a pharmaceutical and other allied industries, we will talk about the manufacturing devices in manufacturing industry in the digital era. So with this concept of thought, I think with the lack of time, what I would take is, I will give you all the take-home messages rather than going into the facts and figures of the entire industry. So just to have a present overview, we will just to think about the need, why we are here with the manufacturing. Then we will go what is the global, where we are in the innovation, import and export. Do we really need it? Okay, that's there. And yes, are there any people to support like AMTZ? And at last, we should leave the message what we want to do further. So with this, now answer is simple. Whether it's a software as a medical device, whether it's a product as a medical device, what are we facing? The fact is we are facing a rapid struggling in the industry right now. The industry is very simple. It's post, I think the last 5 years, you are actually seeing it's rapidly growing and the demand is growing. So in a basic understanding, I think India and across the world, the population is aging. We are getting into higher geriatric population. At the same time, chronic diseases are increasing and the management of that is needing all what you want. So with this, when you need what you want, you also need the manufacturing capabilities. So there is a lack of infrastructure across the India and across the globe, and especially in India in that sense. So to meet these rising demands, what we want our healthcare domain to be expertise and also try to maintain it in a way where we can supply or have everything right from a mask, simple mask, what we have used in the past, to the MRI machines. Probably everybody knows what is the MRI machine. It's like a simplest mask to the most complex machine we have across this today. So with this, you should understand, I think everybody is knowing that we were import dependent. And the import dependent was as far as 80%. And when we talk of 80%, the answer is very simple. 80% is talking about the complex technologies, high advanced machines. So that is the level of, and when we talk of high advanced machine, they are very much expensive. So with this understanding, let's understand what we want to do. Can we want to create itself in India where we can manufacture this? So this is the thing we are looking for in the current speech. So to do this, now any complex machine has variety of components. But if all the components are not available within the given space or within a particular location, we can't manufacture. So with that, we need an ecosystem, and especially a value chain ecosystem where every component, whether it is manufactured by self or within the campus or within the area of the feasible location, is required. And more importantly, it should be scientifically manufactured. So we need a scientific value chain ecosystem which is required, which helps us to do local manufacturing, or I can say indigenous manufacturing. And surely when you do this within India or within any location, wherever it's required, it will take a speed to manufacture and put it on the user front. So with this, I think the same thing what I told to how to mitigate, but at the same time, to focus these things, I think in India we have something called as a AMTZ, we just name it, but otherwise it's Andhra Pradesh Medical Tech Zone, which is the government of Andhra Pradesh enterprise, which is trying to help this. We will go about this later. To understand, I will not go into the facts and figures like I told you before, just to make an understanding sense. Yes, are we growing in the industrial market? Yes. As a matter of fact, for the next decade, we will be growing by roughly around 6.3%, which is there. But right now, who is dominating the market? It's basically the US, European and the Japan market. The reason is because basically they are handling those healthcare as a major portfolio. They are handling the major advanced technologies. So do we have a growing demand? Yes. Now, who has not heard of these companies in India? Whether it is GE, Philips, Siemens, Stryker, I think all are here. But can we ever understood why they are here? Because they are dealing with the most critical important points. Those are cardiovascular issues, diagnostic equipment, and also the routine medical supplies. And when these things are there, these are very much routinely required and they are high-ended, which are not manufactured currently in Indian scenario. And they have a comprehensive of products. They have a list of products by which we can sell through. And hence, their brand value has been more high. And more importantly, they are also going ahead with future technologies, which are really helpful. So with this, like I rather said you before, how much we are using medical technologies. It all depends on how much we manufacture, how much is the capacity of manufacture. But what is important, we'll not go into the details. We know these countries like US, Germany and France, they have advanced technologies with advanced machinery. But on the counterpart, what India is doing. India is emerging for sure. India is competitive for sure. But what is happening in India? We need the increasing healthcare spending. More importantly, it's the innovation. I think it's the time to innovate India into the medical devices, and not only innovate, we need into the ground to the accessibility and all to the user front. So saying that, I think you all have heard, we are growing, but how much? We are still Asia's fourth. We expect it to grow in the next decade for sure. We have as much as capacity of 16% to 17%. But what's the problem? Our entire global share is hardly 1.65%. So we are actually contributing the whole global scenario very negligible or practically nil. So we are talking of India being a superpower. Can we? Yes. One can be raised to multiples. Can we go in digits? So that's the answer here. But how much digits? It's just to simple say, we have a huge opportunity. We can say right now we are at a sales of 20 billion. I'm just giving just figure, 20 billion to 50 billion. It means can we double it? Yes, we can double it. But what is the focus? I think we all are talking, we want to be self-reliant. That is more important. We want to build it, we want to export it. And to do both of things, we need government policies. So this is the front of the understanding whether we have scope. Now everybody is talking, but to increase all this, do we need old things or new things? We need new things. That is, when you say new things, we talk of innovation. What is innovation? Something product which comes here and disrupts and makes a use on a daily basis, not on one-time basis. So for that, yes, India is competitive, but remember, we are developing. So where do we actually are lacking in the system across global? We are actually lacking in the capital investment, because any high-end machines are actually require a high level of investment where we need for a newer technology. At the same time, when we invest, we need people, skilled people. But when we have a skilled people, we need an ecosystem, a manufacturing system. After we manufacture, what is important? We need an innovation to add it to it. So this is here we can innovate and we will innovate. After innovation, or rather with innovation, just going to the back of the past 5 years, I think everybody has gone through the COVID in the last 5 years. Its answer is simple. We are still dependent, or rather the imports are still existing. Exports, just because now India is taking a leap into infancy of development, we are actually developing the things. So practically there is not much of a change. Like when we call that import-export differences, it's a trade deficit. We are not much change. We are still requiring. Our exports are slightly increasing, but we still have not stopped the imports. But to take a key message, what is the key message? Here, if there are anybody in the manufacturing industry, my key message is these things. Manufacture those key devices which I have highlighted, which are exports up to 70 to 80, imports up to 70 to 80%. What are those imports? Electronic equipments, surgical instruments, implants, in vitro diagnostics, and consumables. Do you think it is not possible? It is possible, but we just need an ecosystem. That is where we say Make in India has come, the device parks and the clusters have come across India, and of course FDI and the rules have changed across India. So after 10 years or rather a decade, I would see the exports growing and the imports can be stabilized or can be further reduced. This is the aim of the entire exercise, what we need to do now. For doing this, I think, like I said to you, in one of the first ones in India, a medical device park was started. So India's first integrated medical device named Andhra Pradesh MedTech Zone was established in Visakhapatnam. And now, to achieve its milestone from the year 2016, it's the world's largest medical technology manufacturing sector. You may be surprised, I don't know how many of you are knowing here, but yes, it is India's first and we are the world's largest right now. So, welcome to this. And what was the concept? What was the concept? The concept started with all what we saw in the past. The past was what? We needed something. There were key factors known from import-exports and we needed indigenous. And what is indigenous? We wanted to make in India with innovation. And that is where this comes into play with a make in India as a major thought in the mind. We contributed in COVID. It all starts from the COVID. And during COVID, who has not imported these things? Ventilators, concentrator masks. But surprisingly, the major part of these within the in-house indigenous things across India and including external outside the India were supplied by AMTZ. So like right from the ventilators, concentrators, I just figured out the number, but these were done. So these are the ranges where we could supply across India. Now, just to give a little bit nutshell of what was it. It was formed in 2016, but actually in 2018, it came into an operation stage where it was entirely dedicated to the work and service of the nation. And with that, who started it? It was supported by Dr. Jitendra Sharma, who is the founder and the CEO, who took the entire pain to start such things with a new concept and now being called as a medical tech capital of India. And what is the main out of the entire thing? The most important thing is we have common manufacturing facilities and also scientific facilities. Very importantly, giving a lot of thought and people to give us space for innovation and to help out with a scientific eco chain system. I think the same thing again over and over. Infrastructure, ecosystem, regulatory support. I think all of the people who were talking just before me, the speakers, wanted all this. Believe me, this is all available within the AMTZ zone. You did not go outside the zone. I can only say that. Don't need to go even to Delhi, sir. They can help us with us and we can connect with you from there. That is how we can stand today. We have at least industry, academia, industry 100 plus we have. Number of companies which are within the zone are around 140 plus. It is not a small number with 300 acres of zone. So that is there. We are employees at the moment of 5,000, but we are almost nearing 6,000 plus now. And absolutely all the partners across. It is just a glimpse of some things which are there as industry partners here within the zone. Now, this is the most important part. We are growing. While we grow, what is important? We heard that in the previous slides that we need a scientific ecosystem. Without a scientific ecosystem, we can't survive. We can't do indigenous. We can't be Make in India. So welcome to this ecosystem which is framed already in the zone, which can be right from the common scientific facilities to including advisory. Very importantly, I think you may not highlight here, the World Health Organization innovation and also the World Trade Centers, both are across available in here. I'll go ahead. Now, having said this, answer is very simple. Did we do something productive after that? How many products are available? I think we had one of the gentlemen speaking to us. Do we manufacture in India? Can you see the number? It is highlighted for you in red. 1,200 plus products available in Make in India and indigenous products. And remember, because of Make in India, it's a government enterprise. Do you expect prices? Very affordable. But only thing, is it available or are you aware of such availability? So I am here to make you aware that there is something available. And please connect to us. And can you think, again go back to my previous slides. I said the complex structures. We are doing everything which is low end, not high technology in India we are able to manufacture. But complex structures or a complex high-ended technologies we can't. But can you see which is our first primary thing? Radiology. We are trying to do that. I think we have right to the extent of MRI and cath labs. And now, I think I will not mention here, but we will probably soon announce that including the world of nuclear medicine, we are coming up with cyclotron and linear accelerators. Can you imagine that India doing this? No. And little bit of everybody knows that critical care, IVD, just to make you understand, I'm not listing out how many. Can you understand where we come this from? The shortage of India was available. We had an opportunity. Did AMTZ create an opportunity? They created, they made it, they are making it possible. And when not only making it possible, they are also creating a system to make others also possible where they can come and collaborate with them and work. So this is what we say. A to Z is done there. And with that, what we deal with, medical technology. So the name of AMTZ comes from here. AMTZ. So A to Z of medical technology is available to you. Come to us, access it. And like I said, KHT is, we are various supporting elements to the government of India and across the industry. So we have, within our in-house, we have 2 incubators who can't have their own offices or own centers outside. We have 2 incubators to us. If anybody here has any idea, walk in, talk to us. If you can do something, we can also do something for you. So that's the key. That is Bio Valley, Medi Valley. This is our area of coverage. This is where we go across the countries. Routine international delegates, they keep on coming every day. One of the, again, shortfalls, what we spoke, the knowledge. Everything is available. No knowledge, nothing is available. So we help right from the students to now, including university, which we will be opening around shortly by the year end of the next year, where the first thing called something like a MTech health technology will be started. So these are the things which are not available in India, across the world only. So we are also coming back in India. Now, have you heard of a Make in India hospital? No. What is Make in India hospital? Everything A to Z will be Make in India, including every machine, every mask and every MRI machine will be available here. The proof of concept is already available right now in Hyderabad. We are working on that. Maybe within some days it will be on for your use. Nobody stops this from you. Always have a carbon print and green initiatives. We have been trying to be the leaders across the nation. The ease of doing business, we are here. Most important, you have benefits and incentives from AMCZ when you work with us. And just few slides more for you. Ultimately, when we talk of manufacturing, I cannot go away without talking the Industry 4.0. The answer is simple here. Industry 4.0 is nothing but industry, academicians, and government to work together. And when they work together, they grow together. When they grow together, new policies come together. And once the new policies come together, answer is very simple. When nothing can come together only in a single way, can we have a cluster? So all these three people can form a new scientific and technology cluster, talk about it, innovate it, and give help to the local community. At the same time, I think all the speakers have spoken about few things of the key Industry 4.0. What are those? I think a lot of people spoke about the digital transformations. We spoke of artificial intelligence and automation. These are the three key factors for Industry 4.0. Just making it where we can use. I think we are in healthcare. Pharma is in healthcare. Manufacturing and automation now are hand in hand. Without going into automation, I think the speed and the to catch up the global market is not possible. Everybody spoke. Mobile. I think 3D printing. I think 3D printing has made life easy. I think how many of you are aware 3D printing is not only materials. We can also make organs now. And not only organs, the implants. Everything is possible at a speed and at a very precision. So that's very important what I can say. And IoT, I think, is ruling. I think we are using GPS to all other equipments and sensors. They all can be categorized as IoT and RFIDs. So that is there. So just little bit of final messages for you, where we are in India. I think I am happy to see all the slides in the past talking of AI. Yes, we are here. We are trying to lead. Probably we will be the global leaders for AI. And for AI, how much? The problem here is, it will lead on to another few years. It may be the 40% of the capital investment. But does it give a returns? Maybe not now. But when you grow with the company, when you start beyond, the investment is first, but the returns of invest are very high. And we surely expect that based on the projections. And what is important, it will help the factory automations. And not when automations are fast, your import, exports, everything become fast. So the challenges here are we prepared? Again, my first question comes. How many industries in India are prepared to do investments? Unprepared. So that is our challenge. And their business plan is different and the digital plan is different. Can they right from the beginning plan this? This is very critical. That will save their money but give a longer returns. But at the same time, what is going to happen when innovation adds on to your all this digitalization? There has to be disruption. And when there is a disruption, problem is before this you have a lot of data. After this, you have a lot of data.
One more.
Yeah. Have that insight, proper insights in the data, have timely decisions. This is there. Here, I think, where we are exploring, nothing more.
Thank you.